Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Growing Happy Babies Birthworkers interview series. In this podcast directory, I make sure that you have the easiest possible time deciding which wonderful birth supporter is right for inviting into your family's journey. All the potential members of your essential prenatal and postpartum village are assembled right here in the Growing Happy Babies directory. Doulas, midwives, prenatal and infant body workers, lactation consultants, and so much more. I'm Adina Kopinski, board-certified lactation consultant and fellow mom. Together, we transition more easily into motherhood. Let's grow some happy babies together. Hello, everyone. Welcome again. Today, I'm so excited to be speaking with Shira Koren. She's a doula, reflexologist, hypnobirthing childbirth instructor, and I'm really excited to hear about your journey into this beautiful world of birth, and I'm excited to meet you. And I was wondering if you could just start us off by telling us, how did you get into this field?
Sure. Well, first I'll say a little bit about myself. I was born here in Israel, but then I was raised in America, in New Jersey, from the age 3. And then I came back and made Aliyah in 2012, so I was like 29. Met my husband shortly after, and then we have 4 girls and 1 boy, and we're expecting our 6th September.
Wow.
And so after our 4th was born on maternity leave is when I studied to be a doula. I just really realized after all of our positive birth experiences, like they were also all home births. So I really had great positive birth experiences, and I just realized that, I just want to support women on their birth journey and try and make their birth experiences as positive as possible. And that's kind of how I got into it.
I love that so much because I feel like it's more common to hear that people come to this field of supporting women through trauma, that they
Right.
had some kind of terrible experience and they want to protect women from having that again. And I love that you're coming from a place of just positivity and inner knowledge that birth is a wonderful experience. That just
Thank
gives me hope for the
you. Nice.
future. So what brought you to doulaing? What called you to this idea of supporting women and babies? Do you have a certain kind of philosophy about birth that you bring to your work?
I don't know. I think I obviously birthed naturally, but I really don't have an agenda. I'm really cater myself to every couple and their needs. So there's birthing mamas that want to birth naturally and then they end up having to have an epidural or whatever, and we just go with the flow. And my whole point is to just 100% support the couple in the now, here and now. And in pregnancy as well, try to plan as much as we can, but we all know that birthing takes, its turns as it wants. Basically, we can't control it. But yeah, just to be supportive and to be there and to empower women and to know that, they have this instinctive God-given ability to birth. So
Yeah. What kind of experience or expertise do you feel like you have that, makes your doulaing uniquely Shira and not just any other doula in the world?
okay. Well, I mean, I think that my hypnobirthing background really is unique. I mean, I know there are other hypnobirthing doulas, but just the philosophy of hypnobirthing that, that birthing is instinctive, and you can also just hone into, being calm and to realize how to keep your body in a relaxed state. The breathing techniques that we learn in hypnobirthing. So even if a couple doesn't take my course, I still incorporate it into my support. So they do get the benefits of hypnobirthing. And also when I apply reflexology, so I offer 2 reflexology sessions to my birth mama, and they can decide whether they take it, before or after the birth or one-on-one. So it's just like a overall, nice way of supporting women.
Yeah. I remember listening to the hypnobirthing tapes when I was pregnant with my third child. I used to like take an Epsom salt bath every night and listen to the hypnobirthing tapes. Like that was the ritual.
Nice.
Like how to get myself into that zone.
Right.
Okay. So, everyone loves a story. So, do you think you could share with us a story of a birth that you attended that is just like, shining in your memory, important, impactful, maybe even educational? Like what pops out at you?
Sure. I recently supported a couple where they like found me really later on in their pregnancy, so we didn't have too much time overall to get to know each other, but we did get all of our preparatory meetings and the neuroflexology and everything. So I did feel like we got to know each other, but usually it's over like months and months, but this was like just like a 1 month period. Um, and she had hoped to birth naturally, and she did labor for almost a full day between being at home and at the hospital. And then at some point, she realized that she really did need the epidural to calm down and to be able to continue the birthing. And it did really work. So the thing that pops out in my mind is just like that mental switch that we did together where, she was disappointed, and it was in that moment that she really wanted this natural birth, and it's how she had imagined it and everything. And then just being able to go with the flow and to make the switch. And then in the end, it was just like a really beautiful birth experience. So like the takeaway was just like to go with the flow and to just relax and sometimes your birthing takes a turn that you weren't expecting, but it's okay.
Yeah, I think you said it before in the beginning of our conversation, but the only thing predictable about birth is how unpredictable it is.
For
Like
sure.
the number one rule is let the birth rule. Like let the birth take over and ride that wave.
Like with all of my couples, I just love that personal bond that we have, especially on the birthing day where it's like so many emotions run high and it's intense and just like the privilege and honor of like at the end of it seeing the birth itself, it's amazing. But also just like the bond that you make with these people that were strangers up until recently, and it's like this immense experience that they're going through and that they allow me into their lives, and it's just so humbling and so incredible.
Hmm. What do you love most about being a doula?
It's a good one. um I think just like the fact that it's my passion, and it's just like I can't imagine doing anything else, and just that connection that you make with people, it's incredible.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a doula, but I agree.
No, you make connections in your profession, so
Yes,
definitely.
absolutely. If you could give a pregnant woman just one piece of advice, what would it be?
I would say to be positive, and to be specific with your intentions. So like, and that they go together. So if the more it's like the law of attraction, like the more you're positive, the more positivity will come back at you. So saying daily positive daily affirmations, that's also comes from my hypnobirthing background as well. Um, and on the flip side as well, like try to stay away and limit negative things in your life or negative stories. That's hard to do in our country right now, but to limit the amount of news you watch, or even birth stories. Like you want to watch positive birth stories, natural or unnatural, whatever, but as long as it's like a positive video that can stay in your subconscious when the day comes, that's what you're going to be filled with. So you don't want to hear negative birth stories. Some people are like, they see that you're pregnant and they're like, oh, let me tell you about my birth story or my aunt's story or my nephew or niece or whatever, and try to stay away from those or politely, excuse yourself from those conversations and say that you only want positive birth stories if
Mhm.
possible.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. I feel like I want to know more about your expertise as a hypnobirthing childbirth educator. Can you tell us a little bit about why this modality is so powerful and what it really helps families, how it really helps families prepare for birth, how it helps moms prepare to give birth, and why it is that you chose, that to train in?
Sure. Well, first of all, leading up to our first birth, that's the course that we took as a couple. So that's about 11 years, or no, 10 years ago. And then I kind of made full circle when I became a doula shortly after I became a hypnobirthing educator. And I think what couples really get and what I got from it is really just how to let your body relax. So there's guided meditation that we do. Like I said before, positive affirmations, being positive, being intentional. So knowing what it is that you want, even though, like we said, birthing, takes whatever turns it wants. But the more that we have our intentions in place, the more likely that that's what's going to happen. As far as the partners go, we give them lots of tools of how to support them, verbally, emotionally, also physically. We have all kinds of exercises that we do. We go through like labor positions and everything. So it's just like the whole package where we go about like what you would learn in a regular childbirth education course. And then on top of that, we talk about like more of like the emotional and the spiritual and how to really like go inward, which is what we need to do as birth mamas. We need to like shut out all the noise and everything. And with what was happening this last couple of weeks, like all the birth rooms being moved and everything, and having lights on and not being able to, having noise and everything. So I think especially in these times when everything's unpredictable, hypnobirthing is just like the thing that can help you just like zone in instead of dealing with all that noise.
Yeah, I think a lot of people associate hypnobirthing with the emphasis on, going inwards and finding that meditative space. I mean, you hear it in the name, right? Like
Right,
hypnotism.
right.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today, Shira.
Thank you for having me.
Friends, check out the full directory for every interview we've done up until now, housed at my website, growinghappybabies.com. But before you go, I've got one question. Are you the kind of person who learns better by listening or by doing? In my 2-part online prenatal breastfeeding class, The Pocket Prenatal, I blend the basics of breastfeeding with practical hands-on skills. Choose to watch the videos on your computer or phone, read through the transcripts, or pop in an earbud, take a walk, and listen to the audio-only podcast version. After you've dived into the what's and whys of breastfeeding, join part 2, our live hands-on class, where we roll up our sleeves and practice the how of breastfeeding. Experience hand expression, learn how to size yourself for better pumping, practice bottle feeding techniques that improve your baby's sucking skills, and use easy bodywork exercises to help your baby's comfort, sleep, and digestion. You're going to walk out of this class with an essential toolkit for navigating early motherhood. This is the class every baby needs their mother to take. Go to thepocketprenatal.com and use your listener code, growinghappybabies, for a special 10% discount. See you there.